Welcome to the channel. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher, he said that the key to the good life was to be able to face difficulty cheerfully. So what did he mean by that? Well, it's really quite simple, but it's also really quite hard to actually do. And that is, A, to recognize that difficulty is going to come your way. B, to recognize that difficulty is part of the path to the good life. C, to recognize that the obstacle in your way is not something to be avoided or feared. It's something to be embraced. And D, to understand that it's through the obstacle that you will arrive at the other side, the better version of yourself. So let me expand on each of these points one by one. First, we have to recognize that difficulties are going to come our way. We can pretend that they're not. We can pretend that we're invincible, that we're above it all, that we're just going to sail through life and everything's just going to go our way. But that's not reality. That's not how life works. Even the Stoics recognized that there were things outside of their control. There were things that were simply beyond their power to influence. There were events that were going to take place whether they wanted them to or not, and so instead of pretending that those things weren't real, that they could just somehow avoid them, they decided instead to prepare for them. The idea being that if you prepare for the worst, then the best can still be a pleasant surprise. Seneca says this as well. He says, "What does not benefit the hive does not benefit the bee. What does not benefit the whole, what does not move us closer to the common good, does not benefit us as individuals. Life is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about overcoming obstacles. And every single thing that you do in life should bring you closer to the person that you want to be, closer to your ideal, closer to the common good." Second point, difficulty is part of the path to the good life. Epictetus, the former slave who became one of the most influential philosophers of all time, he said that it was obstacles, it was external things, things that were beyond our control that presented us with the opportunity to practice virtue, to become better, stronger, more resilient people. The Stoics recognized that it was through difficulty that we had the opportunity to excel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is why the Stoics would often say that they preferred ill health over good health, poverty over wealth, loss over gain, because it was through these things that we had the opportunity to demonstrate our strength, our resilience, our ability to adapt and overcome. It's like a muscle, right? If you want to build up a muscle, you don't avoid weights. You don't avoid resistance. You lift heavier and heavier weights because you know that that's going to make the muscle grow. The same is true with your soul, with your mind, with your character. You want to be tested. You want to be challenged because you know that that's going to make you grow. Third point, the obstacle in your way is not something to be avoided or feared. It's something to be embraced. Difficulties are not bad things. They're simply things. They're objective events that take place in the world that we can either choose to run from or we can choose to run towards. And it's our attitude towards those things, our reaction to those things, that determines whether they're good or bad, whether they push us forward or hold us back, whether they break us or make us. And lastly, it's through the obstacle that you will arrive at the other side. The Stoics believed that the good life, the happy life, the worthwhile life, was the life of excellence, the life of virtue. And so the obstacles, the difficulties, the challenges that we face, they're not something to be feared. They're something to be embraced because we know that by overcoming them, by pushing through them, by rising to meet them, we will arrive at the other side. We will arrive at the person that we want to be, the person that we're becoming. So yes, the Stoics practiced cheerful difficulty because they knew that it was through difficulty that they would become stronger, braver, more resilient, more excellent people. So what are you waiting for? Go out there and embrace whatever difficulty comes your way and practice being excellent in the midst of it.